had parties, and he's come up with his wacky minds characters, as has Marcy. So we have our response to your question.
All right.
And y'all got some time.
Yeah. You want to go first, or I go first?
You go.
All right. Happy birthday, Tom.
Well, thank you.
All right. So
Everybody knows Fletcher, right? And Kathy?
we're meaningless.
No, these,
he's
Fletcher
a
and
star.
Kathy are some of our, I shouldn't say you're our oldest friends. We've known the longest.
I'm old.
Some friends
You're
we've known
probably right.
the longest.
How about yournovel.com?
Yes.
Well, I'll get to that. Don't worry.
And they
I'll plug
are the
us.
people who started yournovel.com, which are personalized romance novels. And Marcy has written 5 of them so far.
He's the king.
And when I was recovering from some illness earlier this year, or last year, I got a chance to write one.
You did.
And it was, and the wild version is not for my children.
Our hands are still burning from touching it.
So, more times than not, when we tell people that we write personalized romance novels, they usually say something like, oh, I should write a book. And at that point, we wholeheartedly encourage them to just write a book. Everybody has a book in them. They should write a book. And we believe that if you don't have a book in you, you have not really lived your life. Everybody should have that moment. So Tom Gallagher is a man who has stories, not only ones that he has lived, but also others that are in his head.
Now remember, this is coming from a guy with a big red bow on his head.
That's my sexy baby there.
And these stories he delightfully and artfully crafts into tales that people love to read. We know for the last 15 years, he and his vivacious wife Marcy have delighted us with stories they have written on topics ranging from a treasure hunt gone awry in Fort Lauderdale, where they used to live, to a wild chase through Key West, like Tom Hyacinth never dreamed of, to a 007 spy thriller, or was he not a spy, in Rome, to a wild chase, or to a wintry vacation in a Currier and Ives-esque town called Harmony, a place where these two people always live. To a speedboat trek in Lake Powell, where a romantic interlude was cut short by a herd of
Bighorn sheep! Lord!
Tracy, the sheep is out there.
and that's called Sheepus Interruptus. Each and every one of their stories has been a masterfully crafted and well-plotted story filled with wacky characters who have danced across the pages and imparted wisdom and laughter. They just write funny stuff that we love to edit. It's just wonderful for us. And of course, there have also been evil, conniving folks who make readers cringe at their actions and who are easily disliked and rooted against. Some of you may have read these books, written under the pen name Marcy Thomas. We recognize these two first names as cherished friends, Marcy and Thomas Gallagher, and it's rumored that Marcy took the lead with the writing. We will not dispute this fact. But who is actually responsible for these books? It's clearly Tom Gallagher. Sorry, Marcy. Because, let me explain this one simple story. To celebrate Kathy and I's 10th year business anniversary as yournovel.com, we began our goal to help other writers follow their dreams to be published. We, yournovel.com, held an international writing contest to find 10 authors who could write in the form and style of a very difficult form of personalized romance novels. It's not easy. They did it. Well, when Tom received the news about the contest, he encouraged Marcy to enter, and she did, under the pen name Marcy Thomas, and she won. Not only did her story, Destiny in Paris, receive praise from her readers, it also won her a weekend getaway to Grove Park Inn and Spa here in Asheville. Of course, she invited Tom to come here with her, and they fell in love with Asheville, and soon thereafter chose to leave the hustle, bustle, corporate intrigue of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and immigrate to North Carolina to serve chocolates, ice cream, and romance to tourists and locals alike, tapping out a pounding rhythm with drum circles, as well as strumming ukuleles wherever they can. So
Pounding rhythm in the next book, by the way. Yeah.
That's the title.
So we all owe that to Tom, encouraging Marcy to do something she loved. And they, like Kathy and me, know that following your love with the one you love makes it all the better. But back to Tom.
That's just such a
Tom, man of action. Last year he went through some medical issues, and he was recovering. And Tom up and decided to surprise us. Well, he actually was looking for something to take his mind off his recovery and to turn to something he was thinking about for years, finishing a book idea he had started a while back. The concept tickled him, made him smile, and made him think. His creative collective storm resulted in his calling us up phone and announcing that he wanted to write a book for us. Now, for years, we have been telling them that whenever they wanted to do that, the door was always open. So when he gave us a synopsis of Wild West Love Fest, we were not only tickled ourselves, but we tore down the door and told him to get to work. Well, little did we know that Tom had already been putting some time into the writing, and within weeks he had his first draft to us. Like the other books Marcy and he have written, this one was funny, thoughtful, and sexy. The real difference in this book was that Tom took the lead on this one, whereas he was a supporting role in the others. And the decision was made to use the nom de plume Thomas Marcy, which we applaud him for. Now, he didn't win a prize like Marcy's original book did, but it was the top-selling YourNovel.com's book this Valentine's season.
Ooh.
We have 50 titles.
It was the first book to surpass the perennial bestseller, Another Day in Paradise, that Kathy and I wrote 25 years ago. It was at the top of that list. And this means that your royalty check for that book will likely pay for another visit to any place else that you two choose to go to. It's likely some RV park where you and your vivacious wife and bride and your dogs can just kick back and relax. So kudos to you, a man who acts on good ideas. Tom is the gentle hero, not in every book that Marcy and he write, but also in real life. He's the real deal.
He's too good to be true.
He's
read through
No,
the
no,
whole
I'm
thing.
gonna cut my 3 pages down, okay? Fletcher and I, as we've talked with some of your lovely friends, we want to come back. We've made friends. Where's Miss Mildred? Miss Mildred, we want to
There
come back.
she is, loving up here, so is love.
She'd get along with tricks, wouldn't she? So we've had great fortune not only to write romance together, but to travel the world, and we know we're blessed every day. And we have lots of friends who say, if you ever get a trip anywhere, call us. We'll haul your bags, we'll drive you to the airport, etc. A few years back, we got use of a houseboat on Lake Powell, and this baby was a double-story, 90-footer. We had a speedboat behind that we could pull. Problem was, Fletcher nor I knew how to drive a boat. So we put the call out to all of our friends. All these people will go, will be your Sherpa, whatever. Immediately, Tom and Marcy, what time, where, we'll be there, we'll meet you. So we get the boat stocked with one other person, and her son did come with us. We take the training class, we're all squared away. We get under sail, and we're mooring through on this beautiful day. We go along several hours. The red rocks are just gorgeous, just, you know, the water's glass clear, the reflection, and we're just going along, and there's Tom at the helm and his very vivacious helper reading the navigational charts. Fletcher and I drinking all the wine. They're doing all the work.
Go!
We love it.
Go, Admiral
So
Tom.
after a while, it kind of dawned on us, dawned on us, the sun is starting to set, it's getting a little dark. Like, we might better park this baby, you reckon? So we were kind of scoping out. We finally found the perfect spot. There was enough shoreline, we could park the boat. So Tom's at the helm. He's barking the orders. We only wish he'd had that 5-star cap on. He's got the strong, manly thing. He guns the motor and he yells, "Full speed ahead! Hold on!" Needless to say, we're like, "Aye, aye, Admiral, we're ready." And all of a sudden, kapowie! Right up on the sand. And he landed that bad boy perfectly.
Yeah.
So we get out, we tie off the boat, everything's done. Good end to the story. Perfect. Bighorn sheep, fire, etc. Our next adventure, we invited him back. We got to go to Eagle Island, a private island in Georgia. We had a beautiful cabin. We had a little pond with our own resident gator. We had, again, fire under the stars. It came with a boat. Guess who we invited? Admiral Tom. So, one outing, we had to go to a neighboring island to look at the beautiful Sapelo Lighthouse. And we toured and saw the Gullah community. And I'm driving the pickup truck because I know how to drive a straight shift because my mama told me that. So all of a sudden it's getting dark and clouds are coming and we're following our guide and we're barreling down this ruddy road and Tom is sitting on the cooler in the back, him and Fletcher, and his tailboat is just bouncing up and down and he's like banging on the window, go, beating the storm. So we're okay. We get to the park ranger, cedar block building, shelter in place. We had packed snacks, that's Marcy's job. So we had a little picnic. So here's where it got fun. We took the boat back to, everything was good at the house. But when we packed up to leave, we got back okay. Storm didn't get us, no gators got us. Packed up to leave.
That storm didn't get us.
That storm didn't get us. Admiral Tom is at the helm. And he and Marcy now have the matching t-shirts, captain and first mate. So we're motoring along, and all of a sudden, kerplunk, motor goes. Nothing. Nada.
Except for the approaching storm.
The approaching storm. And you tried your best. You opened it up, you looked at it, you talked to it,
I
you
did
blew
look, I
on
did talk.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but it wasn't happening. But like all good mariners, we called someone who could help us. And Captain Andy, our contact on the island, came and he towed us to safety. And in the meantime, the storm, another storm, came upon us. And we have our beach towels on and the rain is slapping in our face. But what did we do? We laughed.
We did. It was happiness.
It was fun.
And also very wet.
Very wet. So I will tell you this, the motor part was not Tom's fault, and all's well that ends well, but I want to tell you, anytime you're going to travel with Tom at the helm, there's bound to be something out of the ordinary. And expect full steam ahead.
Oh.
Love that.